As usual, we have to start with corrections, but most of you passed the work, so I will just go to the work that I have prepared for today. So today we are continuing with factorization of quadratic equations, and today we shall learn how to solve and get the roots or the answers or the values of x after after factorizing the equation. So we are saying we solve an equation by finding the value of unknown. That is the procedure of solving an equation. We solve an equation by finding the value of unknown. For any two numbers p and q, if I have any two numbers, for example p and q, and the product of these two numbers, if p and q is equal to 0, then either one of these numbers is 0. Why is one of these numbers equal to 0? It's because any number, when it is multiplied by 0, the answer is 0. When any number is multiplied by 0, the answer is 0. So if we have pq equal to 0, if we multiply p times q and we get the answer as 0, it means one of those numbers is equal to 0, or all those numbers are equal to 0. That is the only situation condition that we can have there. So if pq is equal to 0, then either p is equal to 0, which means that 0 times q is equal to 0. Because any number times 0, the answer is 0. If q is equal to 0, so when pq is equal to 0, it means either p is 0 or q is 0. Because any number times 0, the answer we get is 0. So p is equal to 0, which means 0 for p times q, the answer is 0. Or it is q, which is 0, meaning that p times q, which is 0, the answer still remains 0. But it can also mean that all these numbers, p and q, they are equal to 0, which means that 0 times 0 is equal to 0. So that is what it means. Now, similarly, if we have a product of these two numbers after factorization, if x plus 2 into x plus 3 is equal to 0, then this simply means if after factorization you reach somewhere and you have this x plus 2 multiplied by x plus 3 is equal to 0, it means that either x plus 2 is equal to 0 or x plus 3 is equal to 0. It simply means one of these numbers is equal to 0, such that when x plus 2 is equal to 0, 0 times x plus 3, the answer will still be 0. Or when x plus 3 is equal to 0, 0 times x plus 2, the answer will still be what? 0. Then either x plus 2 is equal to 0 or x plus 3 is equal to 0. Solving for x means, so if x plus 2 is equal to 0, to get the value of x, you just take to the other side, which will be a negative after crossing equal signs. So x is equal to negative 2. And from here to solve for x, when 3 crosses equal signs, it becomes a negative. So it means x is equal to negative 2 or x is equal to 3. to negative 3. Now, what are we learning from here? What we are learning is that when you solve a quadratic equation where the highest power of the unknown is 2, you should get two answers. You should get two values of what? Of x. So thus, in order to solve a quadratic equation, the quadratic expression is factorized so that the equation is in the form x plus a into x plus b. So if you want to solve a quadratic equation by factorization, you have to first factorize it and make sure that it is in that form. So what is the difference? The equations that we were factorizing last time when we learned factorization, there was no equal signs. So we just say factorize this. But when we put equal signs and we say equal to 0, it means we are asking you to get the values of x when there are equal signs. Example, solve. Solve. I have x minus 4 into x plus 1. Now, I've already told you, it means if it is equal to 0, it means one of these numbers is 0. That's why you have two situations. Because any number times 0, that's when you get 0. Multiplication. So if x minus 4 into x plus 1 is equal to 0, it means either x minus 4 is equal to 0, or x plus 1 is equal to 0. So one of these numbers is equal to 0. That's when you multiply, it is equal to 0. So to solve for this, if x minus 4 into x plus 1 is equal to 0, then x minus 4 is equal to 0, or x plus 1 is equal to 0. Therefore, x is equal to 4, or x is equal to negative 1. X is equal to 4, or x is equal to negative 1. These are the answers, or the solutions, or the roots to this quadratic equation, which has been factorized. So what we are noting is very simple. If you have two equations that are equal to 0, it means one of these is equal to 0. Either x minus 4 is equal to 0, or x plus 1 is equal to 0. And when x minus 4 is equal to 0, we get the value of x by taking 4 across. When it crosses equal signs, it becomes positive. And here, when one crosses equal signs, it also becomes a negative. So x is equal to 4, or x is equal to negative 1. Let us look at this. Let us look at this example, which they are asking us to factorize and hence solve. So you are going to first get the factors of this quadratic equation. Then after getting the factors, you just equate to 0, and you get the values of x. So like we have been doing, we have x squared plus 7x plus 6. The product of the factors is going to be 1, which is the coefficient of x squared, 1 times 6, which gives us 6. And the sum is just going to be 7. The sum is 7. I think you agree with that. So the product is 6. So we are going to state the factors of 6. The first factor of 6 is 1, and it goes with 6. The second factor is 2, and it goes with 3. But you realize when you add the factors, when you add 2 plus 3, you get 5. Yet here the sum is 7. So the factors we are choosing are 1 plus, are 1 and 6. Immaculate, can you tell us what we do with the factors now? Tell us the next step after getting the factors as 1 and 6.
We shall write x squared plus into brackets 1 plus 6 close brackets x then plus 6 equals 0.
No, we are not putting equal to 0 yet. The question is factorize. So we should first factorize. Then when we are solving, that's when we shall equate to 0. You get the point, yeah?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, so we shall first factorize. We open bracket and it becomes x squared plus x. When we open bracket, then plus 6x plus 6. Then we factorize from here, we factorize x here, and we shall have x plus 1.
Yes.
Then here we factorize out 6 from here, which will be 6 into x plus 1. Lisa, can you tell us the next step here? Lisa, are you there or you are sleeping? Okay, Mark, can you tell us?
Get x plus 1 into x plus 6.
Good. So that is the factorization part, yeah? So we have now answered this part that says factorize. Now we go to the hence part. Hence solve this equal to 0. Now we have already agreed that this x squared plus 7x plus 6, when factorized, it is equal to this. This is its answer. So when we are solving, we just get its factorized answer and equate to 0. And when we equate to 0, so x squared plus 7x plus 6 equal to 0, we are now solving this is the same as x plus 1 plus into x plus 6, which is equal to 0. Joshua, can you tell us the next step? Joshua? Sarah, are you there? Sarah, tell us the next step from there. I can't hear anything. So next step, it means either x plus 1 is equal to 0 or x plus 6 is equal to 0. And if x plus 1 is equal to 0, when we take 1 across to cross equal signs, it becomes a negative. So x is equal to -1. And for x plus 6 equal to 0, when 6 crosses equal signs, it becomes a negative. So x is equal to -6. I think you are understanding that work. I have this question. By the way, you should first arrange the quadratic equation to make sure that it is in the required form. If they are telling you to solve x squared minus x minus 29 is equal to 1, can you first equate the equation to 0? A quadratic equation is okay when it is equated to 0. So what we shall do here is to first take this one to cross equal signs and it becomes a negative. So we shall have x squared minus x minus 29 minus 1 equal to 0. And finally we have x squared minus x minus 30, which is equal to 0. I want Melvin to get for us the factors. The sum of the factors is -1 and the product is 1 times -30. So the product is -30. Which two numbers are those? Which one? Can we do it, all of us? Which two numbers are those? The one who gets first, you tell us. Which two numbers are those? Which, when you multiply them, you get -30, and when you add them, you get -1. You first write the factors of 30, like we have been doing, and remember one of the numbers should be a negative. If the product is negative, then one of the two numbers should be a negative. So first write the factors of 30 and find out if you make one of them a negative, which ones will give you a sum of -1 and a product of -30. Who has found the factors already? People, don't be lazy today. Who has found the factors already?
-6 and 5.
Very good, thank you. The factors are -6 and 5. So where there is this -1, we shall put -6 plus 5. Yes. So factors of 30. You people, you should be careful with this work. Any math paper that you will do, there will be a small thing, a quadratic equation. So factors of 30, we have 1, it goes with 30. We have 2, it goes with 15. We have 3, it goes with 10. We have 5, it goes with 6. But if one of them is to be made a negative, the ones that will give you a sum of -1 are here. So the answer is -6 and +5. So we rewrite our thing and it becomes x squared plus is here. Then where there is -1, we put -6 plus 5 into x minus 30. So we are going to have x squared minus 6x when we open bracket plus 5x minus 30 equal to 0. So we are going to factorize out x from here, and it gives us x into x minus 6 plus, when we factorize out, the common factor here is 5. Yes, it is divisible by 5 here and also by 30 there. So we get 5 into x minus 30. And that gives us x minus 6 becomes common. So we write 1x minus 6 and here will mean with x, here will mean with 5. So finally we have x plus 5 into x minus 6 equal to 0. Okay, equal to 0. So I think I should ask Joshua again. Joshua, what is the next step from here? Joshua, what is the next step from here? What are the values of x and the value? What are the two values of x from this stage? Joshua, are you there? Joshua? What's wrong with this one? I cannot hear anything. So from here, it means that either x plus 5 is equal to 0 or x minus 6 is equal to 0. Either x plus 5 is equal to 0 or x minus 6 is equal to 0. And that means x is equal to negative 5 here, or x is equal to 6. Example 3. Suppose we have x squared minus 6x is equal to 0. How do we solve these equations? Please, these equations are not solved by getting the square root. These are quadratic equations. They are not solved by getting the square root. So if I have x squared minus 6x is equal to 0, I can solve this by factorizing out x. And when I factorize out x, I remain with x here minus 6 equal to 0. And what does that mean? It means since we are multiplying, when you factorize out, it means you are multiplying x into x minus 6. Since we are multiplying, it means either x is equal to 0 or x minus 6 is equal to 0. And x is equal to 0 or x is equal to 6. When this negative 6 crosses equal signs, it becomes a positive. It becomes a positive. So those are some of the examples that I wanted to share with you. We can have questions if they are there. If they are not there, then we have this as our assignment.